Welcome again to Grace Force YouTube. I got to hear a lady one time talk about thick or thin. You can live life thin. Please pass the butter. And you turn the TV on. Boy, it's really hot. Did the Dodgers win? Or you can live life thick, doing stuff that really matters and makes life have some depth to it. I watched a movie one time, and this guy, he was working in a factory for soda pop, and the assembly line would come with all these cans, and they would fill it up and seal the lid, and his job was to take his hands in 3 and 3 and turn and move and put it in the back on a box, and then it would be sealed and go to the store. All day long, 6, just a machine. And finally he figured out he could squeeze a 7th one in between by just pressure, and he could make a 6th more money. Thin or thick, and I think that's thin. When I was teasing my sons about what they were going to do with the rest of their life, one night we were at a concert at the university, and a big piano concert, and a famous piano player was going to come out. So someone came out, and we clapped. We thought it was him, but it wasn't the big man. It was a student who came out to put the piano bench where it was supposed to be. And I whispered to my sons, if you practice, maybe you can be the piano bench guy. Thin. On the other hand, we went to an island called Palawan in the Philippines. It's a long, narrow island on the west. We baptized 1,000 people in the ocean. I'll never forget it. 31 pastors. But the ocean was really shallow, so we had to walk like a couple hundred yards out into the ocean for the water to be deep enough for us to do the baptism. So now we couldn't hear the pastor who was saying, I now baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So a young man grabbed the speaker. It was all Bluetooth. He carried that speaker 150 yards out into the ocean. Now we could finally hear. He got tired, so someone brought a table out. Water was very calm. They put the table and they put the speaker. And we baptized one by one. Each of us did 30 whatever. And then when it was all done, all the 31 pastors walked back. Somehow we had to hold hands. And we walked holding hands all the way back to the shore. And then we prayed over the 1,000 people. Pretty thick. One of our sons was dating a girl one time who was a dancer in the Nutcracker. So it was downtown Riverside in a big theater, so we had to go. So here we are. And in the middle of this wonderful program, she had finished her dance. There came a moment where there had to be someone up on the rafters who dropped some fake snow in the scene. So I said to the boys, maybe that can be your job in life. You could be the one on the rafter. Maybe you're not the dancers or the actors, but you could be the guy up in the rafters and 1, 2, 3, shoom, drop all that snow out. Thin. Or maybe you could be the guy out there waving the sign in front of the store, listening to headphones music all day long for 8 hours, waving that sign. Are you going to live your life thick or thin? And on our mission trip, we've gotten used to that now. Is this thick enough for you? We were in Dumaguete, South Philippines one time. I was in my room working on a sermon, and Union President knocked on the door and he said, we want to show you something. Well, I know what that means now. So they took me to an empty lot. It had a few blocks and some gravel, some sand, just weeds. And they said, we want to build a school. We have no school. All the kids have to go to public school or to a Catholic school. We want a school. We have no school. It's a new mission. I said, how much? $20,000. So to make a long story short, I came home and I called and God helped me, and I got the $20,000. Sent it over there, done, finished, no more. That's it. A few weeks later, I got an email. Pastor Dan, prices went up. We need $6,000 more. They had a list of all the things they needed. And I just got sort of mad at God. And I just said, I quit. I can't do this. I'm just a pastor. I have plenty to do right here without having to solve problems around the world. I don't know people with that kind of money. Let find someone else, God. I drove over to Mimi's in Loma Linda and walked into my men's group that morning. And one of the guys said, I've got a check for $1,000. Can you use it? I looked up at God and said, does that mean you won't let me quit? By that night, by God's grace, I had the $6,000, sent it over there. They finished the school. I was there for another trip. I went down on a Sunday and we dedicated the school. The whole school came on Sunday, sang a song to me. Unbelievable. Forgot all about it. 10 years later, I'm doing a week of prayer at the other end of the island at a college we have there. I'm sitting at a table at lunchtime and they came up to me, a group of kids, and they said, you Pastor Dan? Yes. And then they said, we are the first graduates from your school in Domageddon. We had no chance to go to an Adventist Christian school until you built that school. And we just wanted to come and thank you that we had a chance to have a Christian education. We'd like to sing you a song. I sat there while these kids sang me a song. Other people gave all the money. I just gave a little. But that was pretty thick. This year, 2 months ago, we finished a crusade at another place, another island. The treasurer from that old mission 25 years ago came up to me. He's just retired. And then he had his son. And we figured out the son had gone to the school. And I said, were you one of those 10 kids that sang for me at the table? I said, yes, I was. That was pretty thick, my friends. These are just my stories. You can have your own. We got to do what they call a P1 camp in the Philippines. They're actually doing another one this week as I tape this. We were supposed to be there, but I got this health issue and I've got to work it out. But Sunday night, after I finished preaching, they said, we're going to have a campfire. It's going to be a big campfire, Pastor Dan. You want to come see it? Oh, okay, fine. So I went over there. It's pitch black. I kept saying, where's the campfire? I've got sermons to finish. I've got to preach at 5 in the morning. All of a sudden, I wish you could visualize this. All of a sudden, from a tree 100 yards away, just like a flash of lightning, here came a ball of fire. And down a wire, got down to where a bunch of wood was piled, and then hit the alcohol or kerosene that they put on. Kaboom! There was a campfire. I mean, you just can't believe it. Just wow. You can hear me say wow on it. The next night they showed it on a video. Everyone wowed again. It was spectacular. I said, I can't believe these things I get to do. It was really thick. The end of the week we baptized almost 500 people. They just dug a baptistry out of a hill in the college there. Cemented it, painted it blue. They had some blue and white balloons floating around while we're doing the baptism. The sun was going down on Friday night for the Sabbath. And we're baptizing. 500 kids, people are singing. I just said, I am so blessed. Get to live life thick. Just trying to catch you with this idea. This is what I get to do. I get to eat in cool restaurants all over the world. I get to go to some very interesting places and be with wonderful people. Thick, thick, thick. Another time we helped my young Filipino pastor finish 2 churches in the middle of islands in the middle of the ocean. Cagayan, Celia. And we had to fly in a little prop plane that a little Adventist nonprofit has over there. And we flew over the ocean and hope we get somewhere. We landed on the little grassy strip on this island. There's no natural water on the island. They have to just save the rainwater and then use that for the rest of the year. You want to eat, you go down and catch a fish and eat it. Craziness. We had helped them raise money to finish a church. Went to bed, little primitive hotel. One person had made a little 4-room hotel. 4 o'clock in the morning, I could hear music. I thought, why is my group listening to the radio here at 4 in the morning? Finally, I figured out it was a group of people singing Christian songs. I figured it was for me. So I finally got up, and it was my birthday. And here they were. Someone had told them, and they were singing to me. So I prayed over them. Now we're up. 5:30, we got into a little boat, with what they call an outrigger pump boat. We're gliding over water that was a sea of glass. And then the sun rose. We're gliding over the sea of glass to another island. Someone had brought some Ovaltine and a hot drink and some hot bread. And it was pretty thick. I said, how do I get to do these things? We got out of the boat. On that island, there were no vehicles. Everything they had done had been by hand. Every bag of sand on the beach, fill a bag, carry it up the top of a hill, pour it in. There were huge holes, volcanic holes, carry rocks up, drop it in. They built the church. Pretty cool. Thick. My friends, you have a choice whether to live life thin or thick. You don't have to go on mission trips around the world, but you can choose whether to live life thin. Sports and the weather and trivia. Or you can live life thick with relationships and doing something for God. Moses was leading Israel out of Egypt. He could have stayed in Egypt. He could have been a prince in Egypt. He decided to go with these people on the trek out to the promised land. Now he's walking across the desert. He got mad one day. People were fighting. There's no water. Why'd you bring us here? And he got mad. He said, why do I have to bring water for you? And hits the rock twice. Both the hits hit it once. And God said, you're going to have to die before you get to the promised land. I can't let you go into the promised land with everybody. So we had a big meeting with the whole crowd. Gave his final advice in Deuteronomy. And then he trudged with his walking stick up to the top of the mountain. I've driven to the top of the mountain. You can see the long ways. And Moses from the top of that mountain could see maybe into the promised land. They're not going to go. And he could also look back where he had been. And he remembers where he could throw the stick down and it became a snake. He could pick the snake and it would become a stick again. He could remember waving this stick and the Red Sea opened up and the people walked across, and he waved it again and the waters went back and drowned all the Egyptians. He could remember water coming out of a rock, a cloud by day and the fire by night. Was he sorry he left Egypt? And he lived a thick life. And he lays down and goes to sleep and dies. And God comes down and wakes him up and takes him to heaven. And when Jesus was here, when they had the Mount of Transfiguration, they had Moses and Elijah on top of the mountain. It's not a bad life. It was thick. And I ask you today, my friends, you have a choice to live life thin or you can live life thick. And if you want to go thick, Jesus will set that up for you. God bless you. I hope you'll like this program, subscribe, spread the word, trying to build an audience, trying to put a few minutes for God all over the world. God bless you. So we'd love it if you enjoy what we have made, if you can like it and forward it on to other people, and we'll build the ministry on social media, Grace Force YouTube. God bless.